Hi everyone, coming on to do my Whatever Wednesday, and today I am doing a beaded bracelet for you. Now I have put it on my beadboard just so it's easy and quick, okay, but these are the beads I'm going to be using. This will be my centre bead, which is one I've got from Mel's Beads. Some of the other ones aren't from Mel. Some of these have been from my stash, but a lot of them are from Mel. And I've got some rondos in there and some little... There's a mixture of acrylic, there's a mixture of Swarovski, and there's a mixture of just glass. I do have some... what do you call it? Jade gemstones in it. They're just the small ones because they can work out quite expensive, but I did get a deal on them. And I do have like a milk green colour gemstone, which is beautiful. So I'm just going to go ahead and start making it, okay? Now I use, for this bracelet, I'm using just an elastic beading wire. Comes on a big roll like that. Now I am the most rough person with bracelets you could ever imagine, and yes, this elastic is quite sturdy, but just to make sure that my jewellery lasts, I double my elastic, and it's just to make sure that the customer isn't going to have a problem with it, okay? So that's just my preference, but it doesn't need to. To make sure my beads don't fall off the end, I use a bulldog clip. Really simple, just... Let's see if I can clear that up a wee bit for you. You'll see it there. I have just clipped a little bit of my elastic in the bulldog clip, and it stops it from falling off. Okay, obviously if I pull it really hard, it's going to come out, but you've got quite a bit of give, and your beads aren't going to be that heavy on it anyway. So let's get started. And as you'll notice, I'm trying to see if I can tilt it up that way maybe. Let me see. No, I might need to turn it round that way. Yeah. As you'll notice there, they are identical apart from this rondo. This rondo will meet at the back so that everything's even all the way round. I'm a bit of a perfectionist that way. I wouldn't want those two beads being next to one another. So, we'll crack on. And I hope this camera angle's a bit better. I am hopefully next week going to be able to get a new webcam, because this one is rubbish. But I'm trying to make sure that it's got decent graphics on it. Right, so just take your bead, push it along your needle and down. Simple as that, and you're just doing that the whole way along. Some of the smaller beads might have a more narrow channel for you to go through. If that's the case, to be honest, it will probably just be a fluke. Have a look at one of your other beads from the same set and it will more than likely work. There is just the odd one, usually in a set, that plays up. Right, so I'll try and do this on camera for you. It's just really difficult when you're not used to working so closely. Where am I? Oh, here. So I'm just working my way along, putting it on the needle, and then just pushing it along there. Alright, and that's all you're doing till you've got all your beads on. And as I said, some of the beads are fancy, some of them are quite basic, but with a bracelet, if you've got too many fancy ones, you don't get the full effect, it's going to annoy me. I have got a wee fruit fly flying round about me and it's driving me berserk. Where's that going? That's going in between those two, so that's fine. I've got a wee tiny rondo there and I was trying to work out where it was fitting in, so I'm just going to pick it up with my needle. So you'll see it's a small rondo, but it's going in between two small beads, so it will work. And I absolutely love green just now. I'm just going through a wee green phase. One of my mum's friends actually asked me to make her a set because my mum, when she was on holiday in Blackpool there at the beginning of the month, I had made her a set for Christmas using green beads and silver filigree beads, and one of her friends commented and asked where she got it, and she said my daughter made it. She says, could she make me one as well please? She's like, but could the beads be a bit darker? But the beads I had used on my mum's were quite a bit bigger. They were, I think, an 8mm, and I didn't have the dark ones in an 8mm, so I've had to make her just a similar. It's slightly darker than my mum's. I would say my mum's were more of a peridot green, and the ones I've made for a friend are more of an emerald, so I'm hoping it'll be alright for her. But it is exact apart from the colour of the beads. Sorry, I'm getting out of focus again when I'm putting this together, but it's such a super quick, and that's why I like this board, because you can pre-plan what you're putting on, other than when you're just picking out your box, you tend to misplace one or two along the way, or you end up making a mistake. This just makes it really streamlined and quick, and I like that because you can make up the projects really quickly, and they're super for a quick gift, especially if you've had a last minute invitation to a party or a birthday or something. This will work really quickly, and it's a nice item. So I'm just going to check. Oh, that's plenty big enough. Right, so what I'll do here is, so that you can see what I'm doing, I'm just pushing the elastic over a bit. Now, I'll waste quite a bit of elastic doing this, but that's fine as long as I can show you what I'm doing. Now, for my knot, I always add just a wee tiny smidge of E6000. Okay, and what that does is just stops the knot from slipping. Over time you will find, sorry, I'm just going to move this board out of the way now because I don't need that. You will find if you don't have any adhesive on it, over time it may slip. So I'm just doing a normal knot and pulling it quite tightly. Okay, then doing another knot and again pulling it quite tight. Okay, so that's me double knotted it in there, and all I'm going to do, there we see it sliding just now, so I'm just going to knot that again and just hold it. Okay, and I'll just, in fact I'll set it down there a minute. And really it is a tiny amount. I mean, that's the most you need. Okay, and all you're doing is just separate your beads. Okay, And there's your knot, and just rub it over the knot, okay? And preferably, if you can, leave it overnight, or 12 hours roughly. They do say on the bottle 24 hours to cure, but to be honest, I find 12 hours is fine, especially for this type of thing. Before you cut your elastic really close, you can cut it down. I mean, obviously they are massive bits of elastic, so I would cut that down normally, quite quickly. So, but I leave myself enough room so that if it does start to slip before it cures, to trim it again, to get a grip of it. There we go. So that's the bracelet, and I would leave those wee tails for 12 hours before I cut them. But as you'll see, you have got a beautiful centrepiece, and then it's mirrored all the way around, and this one here, this rondo here, is the matching up at the other end, okay? So I hope you've enjoyed that tutorial. If there's anything you need to know, just message me and I will answer. Just put it in the comments. I reply to every comment, good or bad, I reply to it. And I'll just show you the set I actually made for my mum's friend while I'm here. And if you're interested in purchasing any of my jewellery, I do make to order. I do have a few pieces pre-made. I've made this one up yesterday, but this was before I realised I didn't have enough to make the full set. So this is just a one-off bracelet, okay? But you'll see the shine on the beads are just beautiful. And if I put that wee light on a bit, just give me a minute, you'll actually see them really, really shimmer. There you go. It's a stunning wee bracelet. Okay, so that was one I originally hoped to use when I was making it for her. But as I said, I did run out. Oops, it's alright. I did run out of that style, that colour of bead. I didn't have enough for the full set. So I then chose this. Okay, so that's the bracelet. And to be honest, yes, it's a bit lighter, but I think it's still really pretty. And you'll see that's where the join is there, and I haven't really cut that back too much yet, because I'm still waiting for that to cure 100% before I really trim it back. Okay, and then we've got this is a necklace. Now, my mum is the world's worst for jewellery. She hates clips or toggles, clasps. She just can't work them. So the necklace I made her was actually a beading elastic as well. And she said that's exactly what a friend wanted too, because it's a friend through an elderly forum. So I have made all this using beading elastic, although when it slips over your neck you're never going to know that's just elastic. And that is the join at the back. Tiny. And as I said, when it's actually on, you're never going to notice that. You could put a rondo, like I have done with this one, where you wouldn't notice it at all, because when I trim that back, you're never going to see a join, okay? Not in a million years, because there's enough space in there for it to hide that join, okay? So you can do that. And that's the earrings I've made to go with the set. And for the necklace, the bracelet and the beads, it's £20. Okay, that's a deal. And as I said, this necklace is what length? It's about 60 centimetres. So what's that in inches? Let me see, where's my ruler? Lost it. Can't be far away, because I was using it the other day. Oh my lord. Do you know what? I'll be able to use my beading board, I think. Wait a minute, is that going with too? Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. Right, there's the drawing. So if I go from the bottom, I'll go round. It's about 28 inches. One side is 14. Okay. And that's not with it being stretched in any way, shape or form. So it's a good length. And it will sit perfectly on your top without it being obtrusive. So I'm hoping that a friend likes it. I'm sure she will actually, because it is identical to my mum's, apart from her beads are a wee bit darker. Mum's were a wee bit lighter. Mum's were more that shade there. Which is like the peridot, and Isabel's is more that colour. So they are a bit darker. Okay. So as I said, and they are all packaged up quite nicely. If it's for a gift, I will personally box it for you, no extra charge to you. If you look on my Facebook page, I've got a page and it's Designs by Karen M. If you type that into Facebook, it will come up, and I have got some wee gift boxes that I've made. I made one for Emily from the Trinket Parlour for her daughter. I made her a wee charm bracelet, and I boxed it up beautifully because it's a decoration, and I didn't charge any extra for that, and the same goes for anything like that. But if it's for someone personal, then obviously you're not going to wrap it up all neat and box it, and because you want to wear it as soon as. But anyway, I'm going to let you go, and I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, and I will be doing more jewellery tutorials, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.